All right, welcome back to the podcast. We're here with episode 2, and we have a very special
guest.
Very special
Today
Art Skool guest.
It's Sunday, January 12th, 6:41.
Let it be known that Mr. Frank Smith is on the Art Skool podcast. Frank, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes, Frank.
5 minutes in, we're already getting 5 seconds in, and we're already getting vulgar.
A good rowdy day.
So, Frank, it took a good bit of time to get you here. We had 2 microphones set up for the podcast, and then with a last minute purchase, we were able to get this microphone by the time we were supposed to record this. So, you're here for episode 2.
Oh yeah.
You were penciled in for episode 3, but here you are.
Here I am.
Second podcast. We're sitting in this hot ass dorm room.
It's bad.
Awfully hot.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
We have a radiator that is busted. It does not stop chucking.
But it's chucking extra.
Yeah, it's supposedly turned down to 0 all the time. Like, we have it turned all the way to 0, but it just fluctuates, and it's extra bad tonight. And of course, we have to turn off all of our fans because our dorms are not air conditioned.
Was it hot yesterday?
Yes, it was. Yeah. It's been hot.
It's been hot in Thayer too, though.
Yeah, but you have the option to put on your AC.
I have it down to 64, and I'm still hot. Like, it's actually pretty hot. So they might have air actually turned off somehow.
We can blame Pittsburgh for this though, because 100%. It just randomly decided to spike its weather up to 71 degrees yesterday in the middle of January.
Which is not normal.
No, I mean, I guess for here it is.
No, dude, it snowed in Dallas yesterday for the first time in 10 years.
Wait, it really snowed in Dallas?
It snowed in Dallas, yeah.
And it was 70 degrees.
And it was 70 degrees in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I don't. Where it used to be
call it what you want. Global warming.
Dude, shit's whack.
Whatever it is, weather is messed up one way or another. This shit does not work. So, Frank, let's talk about you here for a second.
Okay.
What do you do here at Art Skool? Now, not everyone on this podcast is going to be an art student. We affectionately refer to Point Park as just the Art Skool, being that that's our thing here. But Frank here is going to tell us about his major and whatnot, what he does as an art student.
Yes. Well, obviously, I go to Point Park University, but I am not in COPA. I am a journalism major with an intent on going into broadcast reporting. So I want to be a news anchor one day, possibly.
Like an anchor?
Yes.
So, just the person who's on TV?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Or, there's always law school for media law.
There's always law school. That's what I say.
There's always law school.
That's my backup plan, law school. If being a filmmaker doesn't work out. No, that's fine, bro. We have dynamics processing.
I really should. But Frank's the shit.
Frank is definitely the shit.
Frank. This is the Frank Smith.
We slightly mentioned it in the last episode, but we have a cardboard cutout of Frank at his senior prom.
Yes, that is me at my senior prom.
Throw up a picture of it.
Yeah, that's needed. It's 2 pictures of Frank.
Yeah. Did you like the spot you had on the last podcast?
Oh yeah,
Did you like the picture we used?
I absolutely love being Brooke Heck from the middle.
I don't know what you're talking about because that's a picture of you.
Yes, that actually is a picture of me. Surely it is. Yes.
Okay, so right now we're drinking some LaCroix.
Oh, LaCroix, this is the best flavor.
Cran raspberry.
You're drinking LaCroix.
I have to disagree. I'm a lime guy.
I don't hate lime. Lime was my first ever LaCroix. My mom was on a health kick when I was a kid, and she started buying LaCroix, and I thought it was soda and took a big gulp of it, and I was disgusted. And when I was greeted by,
you leave Dana alone. I love her. Love you, Dana. Thanks for the microphone.
First one I had was berry. I don't like the berry one.
Berry's not
berry
that good.
Berry was one of the 3 they had at the grocery store we worked at, and so we would just always take that shit home. Mm-hmm. But it was never actually good.
Yeah, berry sucks.
Well, probably gonna cut this out. I keep thinking I have this weird feeling that we're live.
I know.
Oh, look at that! That was a shot of. So we just got a new 4K TV setup in here, and I just put on 4K whatever stock footage in the background. There's just a shot of Pittsburgh, and they don't ever include Pittsburgh in anything.
That means another one's gonna pop up.
More than likely.
There she is.
There it is, dude.
Lady
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Well, here we are talking about stuff that no one in the audience can actually see.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple things I want to address here, me and Patrick specifically. Thank you for the support thus far. We had a bunch of people sharing and commenting and telling people to go look at that. It's Pittsburgh. They're showing it a lot. They must know where we are. Look, I can literally see the building we are in right now.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh, nope, that's Vegas. But yeah, thanks to everyone who enjoyed the first podcast. It was definitely experimental. We didn't think that, it would be too good the first time, but it ended up being, decent. All right.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Fuck. I just threw up. All right. So where to get started? I mean, we can go to the That's what LaCroix is gonna do to us, okay? Like we're drinking LaCroix.
Burpee LaCroix.
So Frank, let's talk about the first semester or the second semester for you.
Oh, second semester.
So
okay.
you just started, and from what I'm hearing, you have a decently easier schedule than you had the first semester.
Yes and no. Sucks, I have a 6 to 9 graphic design. That's not fun. I also have a 2 to 5 intro to digital photography, which is honestly the worst class.
Really?
Yes, it's
Digital
not what you think.
photography?
It is not what you think. It is not fun.
Damn.
He read the syllabus for an hour straight of the class, word for word.
Sheesh.
Does he have a mustache?
He does not. He does not have a mustache.
I don't know what to tell you then.
So it's funny that photography is actually your fucking least favorite class because we're like our homework is like to watch movies and shit. Like that's what we do. Like we had our syllabus week for our one class. It was narrative structure, and we read the syllabus. We skimmed the syllabus, and then next thing you know, we're watching Toy Story for like the rest of class.
I slept in like 20 minutes into class.
Oh yeah, we were both late to that class because I had a class that ended at 11:10, and that class starts at 11:20, and my English teacher decided to let it run until about 23. So I wasn't leaving, and it's like the two farthest possible buildings away from each other on our campus. So I was late, and then I texted you, and I was just like, Patrick, like, can you, whenever you start doing attendance, please tell him I'm on my way. And my English, and Patrick never responded, so I'm like, I hope he read that. And then I get there, and Patrick's not even fucking there. I'm like, where the hell are you? And then you text me back, you're like, shit, I just woke up.
Yeah, I slumped after my class that I had before, and I just couldn't make it on time.
Sheesh.
But he didn't say anything. I ran up for my little introduction of like, I'm Patrick. I live in Bellevue. And like, I learned something or whatever. He made us say.
Oh yeah, he was like, what's something you learned in your other writing class? Speaking of movies, you boys know what's coming.
Yes.
We all sat down and watched Sharkboy and Lavagirl. Fucking fantastic movie.
Oh.
I hate Sharkboy. Like, don't get me wrong. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic film, but
So bad.
I can't remember if I went to see that in theaters or not.
No, I definitely
I
did
remember
not.
watching that at my house, like.
Didn't they put it on Disney Channel?
On the CRT,
Oh shit.
just like
Disney I think.
Was it on
millions of
Disney?
times.
What did that air on? I
think it was on Disney.
I want to say
It might-
say Cartoon Network.
I don't
Or
know.
maybe
No, I think-
Nickelodeon.
No.
Maybe.
I think.
Well, what did Spy Kids air on? Because it's all this. They were all like the same.
I swear those on
It
Disney.
might be Disney. It
I
might be
swear-
Disney. I would say
I
either
sw-
Nick or Disney.
I think it was on Disney.
But I remember maybe having them on DVD.
I
Or
definitely
some
watched it on
other
TV.
channel.
It could have been on any of them, to be honest, because it was like an independent company. It was
What the
Troublemaker
hell am I looking
Films,
up?
known for some
What?
of the
Shark
terrible,
Dick
like
and Boy Girl.
Barf Boy and Vomit Girl. Remember
What's
that
that?
from the movie?
Squid Head and Dog Shit.
Oh, dude, it's just I don't know how they got George Lopez to be in
Dude,
that.
George
movie.
Lopez was like 3 different characters in that movie.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
dude.
He
After-
was so many voices.
We rewatched it like you know, like a couple days ago, and we were like, so many voices were just George Lopez. Like everyone remembers fucking Mr. Electric,
Yeah.
but like there were at least 5 George Lopez voices.
Was
in
he
that movie.
Tobor?
Oh hell yeah, he was Tobor.
Which is robot backwards.
Yeah, Malia pointed that out to us. We were just like,
Yeah.
what's funny is whenever I want to reference that movie, I always just reference Tobor. I just like, he's my favorite part of that movie.
Dude, the one part I do enjoy with Tobor is whenever he like flies in the air and he goes, I'm free.
I'm free. Yeah, bro,
That shit
Tobor.
was terrible.
So bad. Especially whenever they get to that like one world. I think it's like where like minus like his like world and there's like that purple goo that just like
Oh, dude, that entire
slides
movie
in.
is just
It's
purple
so-
goo.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Like, if you look at the backdrops of that movie, it's just all like really terrible green screen. Like, just
But like I thought that was like revolutionary as like a kid. Like I thought that was like
what's
amazing.
funny is like I really did like. I knew that movie wasn't good when I was a kid, but I still like watched it. And same with Spy Kids. Spy Kids, any Spy Kids movie, and that Sharkboy and Lavagirl, like they're all just like
I was not
terrible.
a Spy Kids fan. I was really picky.
I really didn't either.
I didn't like the boy or the girl. I
Junie-
didn't like them.
Junie Cortez.
Yes.
No, yeah, that was really bad. I honestly hated Spy Kids, except for Spy Kids 3. I love Spy Kids 3, but Spy Kids 3 is also like terrible.
Is
Don't
that
get
the
me wrong.
dinosaur one?
No, that's Spy Kids 2.
Dude, I don't even know.
3 is
like
the game.
Oh.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
3 is Sword Art Online.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
They're all really good. I remember them all from my childhood.
Jesus Christ.
And I remember how shitty they were.
It is so fucking hot in this room.
So hot.
It's bad. It's not good.
We had to turn the fans off.
I can't find any information about who made these movies.
Maybe they were never real, and we're just imagining we're having like a heat stroke induced
Robert
vision.
Rodriguez directed,
Robert Rodriguez.
composed music, and edited, and
Is this just like some dude's like production 3 project?
edited by Robert Rodriguez. Cinematography by Robert Rodriguez. Music by 2 dudes and Robert Rodriguez. Distributed by Dimension Films and Columbia Pictures.
Dimension Films. That was definitely Disney.
89 minutes.
Maybe.
89 minutes of
Came out in the U.S.
beautiful, amazing cinema.
$50 million budget.
What?
Had a $50 million budget.
Sharkboy and Lavagirl
That's a
did?
joke.
Yeah. and
$50
it
million?
made, $69.4 million in the box office.
Oh my god. They actually made like 19 million off that movie, which I guess in terms of like making movies is not a lot.
Well, like that was like the movie of our childhood, though. Sadly,
Yeah, I remember
that
that movie
was-
being hyped up.
like everybody,
Everywhere.
like if they haven't watched it in years and you ask them, they're like, "Oh, I love that movie. Like it was so
Yeah,
good."
they look
Holy
back on it
shit, there's
fondly.
like a 3, 4, 5 paragraph plot written out on Wikipedia. Max is a 10-year-old lonely child in the suburbs of Austin. Okay, I'm not reading all of that.
It takes place in Austin, as in like Austin, Texas. I wonder if they got any snow.
I can.
That was Dallas,
I
buddy.
can
But
click on Austin and it takes me to Austin, Texas.
Well, now we know Sharkboy and Lavagirl
Sharkboy and
took place
Lavagirl
in
takes
Austin,
place.
Texas.
I mean, it
and
makes
also-
sense.
And
Planet-
also Planet,
Planet
Drool,
Drool.
where all his dreams come to life. He creates 2 characters.
Dream. Oh, don't want copyright.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we'll get copyright stricken if you sing the Taylor Lautner dream song.
Bro, Taylor Lautner was in that.
Yeah, he
Like-
went on to like be somewhat
like,
successful.
I mean, come on, Twilight was his peak. Let's simmer down. Like,
it really was.
2012 was like Taylor Lautner's year, and we haven't heard since.
I remember he shot a movie in Pittsburgh. Remember that?
I do, but I don't know the name of
Holy
it
shit.
because it
Robert
wasn't important.
Rodriguez has an uncredited role voicing a shark as seen in the credits. 2 of Robert Rodriguez's children, Rebel and Racer, portray Sharkboy at age 5 and age 7 respectively. Rico Torres plays Sharkboy's father. Mark Musso and Shane Graham play children at Max's school. There's a little Sharkboy and Lava
Robert-
Easter egg
Easter egg,
for you guys.
Little hidden Sharkboy and Lavagirl tips and tricks.
Fuck Robert Rodriguez.
Little secret right
Yeah,
there.
Robert. What?
Fuck
Little-
him.
Listen, Robert Rodriguez. That's like my That's my background on my phone. Robert Rodriguez, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm certain he is. He's definitely tuned in right now.
I'll tell him.
I just want to clarify. Robert Rodriguez is not Riley Crow's background on his phone. It was a picture of New York City
in the credits
on the TV.
14 times, most notably as the director, a producer, a screenwriter, along with Marcel Rodriguez, visual effects supervisor, director of cinematography, editor, a camera operator, and a composer and performer. The story is credited to Racer Max Rodriguez with additional story elements by Rebecca Rodriguez, who also wrote the lyrics for the main song Sharkboy and Lavagirl. Other members of the Rodriguez family can be seen in the film or were involved in the production. He's sending me all of this right now over iMessage. Miley Cyrus auditioned for the film with Taylor
Imagine
Lautner.
if Miley Cyrus played Lavagirl.
Oh my
Bro,
god.
no.
Oh my god.
That would have been a full-out
Wait,
musical.
hold on. You're telling me that Miley Cyrus didn't not get the role over...
It came down to her and another girl who was also auditioning. However, Miley then began to work on fucking Hannah Montana.
When did this...
She didn't do it.
Hey, Billy, what was your favorite part of the
when did this
podcast
even
this
come
week?
out?
I liked when they all talked about Sharkboy Lavagirl for the entire thing.
There was a lot of shit in here. It came out in 2005.
I mean, we should solely make this podcast about Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
Oh, Christ.
There's a lot
That's a
of
fever
shit.
dream. That is a fever dream I do not want to be a part of.
So we actually wrote this little skit to tell you that we have a new Sharkboy and Lava channel coming out.
This has all been a trailer.
And yeah, it's gonna be just like this podcast is about Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
Yep, we're gonna have the actor. Well, I guess I don't know if we can get
Robert
We're just gonna
Rodriguez
have
will be on with
Robert
us.
Rodriguez and George Lopez.
And George. Yeah, George will be here.
You have a better chance with Taylor Lautner. I don't think he's doing
And
as
George
much.
Lopez? Dude,
Yes,
George, what's he
100%.
doing now? He has like a beard and...
But, like, he can still charge such a high fee. Like, Taylor Lautner will not be as high.
Put George Lopez on the TV?
Yes.
I have the remote. I might as well.
Just while we're talking,
But on the topic of George Lopez,
I love
like,
George Lopez.
one of my favorite things about my childhood is you could
Waking up
fall
to a
asleep,
TV and
like,
wake up
in
and
your
see-
living room, and you wake up at 3 a.m., and it's always the George Lopez theme song. Never a middle of the episode. Always that theme song.
Oh my
We're gonna get
friends.
copyright,
We definitely are.
but that's a good one.
Speaking of like charging high fees, how about Drake Bell coming to our university? And
Dude, why is everyone like jerking their dicks over Drake Bell? Like, he had one big thing and it was Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Let it the hell go. This man is like 30 something years old. He does not want to talk about his damn Nickelodeon TV show. Like,
no, I think it's fuck. I think it's like a concert.
yeah,
it is, but like everyone's
Like,
just
who
gonna
knows
be
a
like,
Drake Bell? Can you name a Drake Bell song off the top of your head that's
No.
not the intro to
theme song.
Drake and
Exactly.
Josh?
like
how's it go?
Like, didn't he like
I
flip
never
out
thought
too?
of
Like, he was
that.
like, I'm an artist. I'm 30 years old. Like, didn't he like publicly like flip out? I thought
kinda-
he like had a flip. I think he had a flip out. Didn't he come to Jurgles? Didn't he perform at Jurgles?
I'm not positive.
I think he did, and I heard he like flipped out. Like, I swear he flipped out somewhere.
I'd
And
be
like,
flipping out on.
let
some
it go.
people If I was Drake Bell, probably
You're
like,
just trying to push your like music,
Drake,
and everyone's like,
dude, it's
"Hug me, brother," and you're like, "Hey, you want to hear my new song on this album I worked tirelessly on?" Everyone's like, "Spherical."
like Point Park's acting like they
I
got
ain't
like
calling you a truther.
like Point Park's like, oh, we're getting like big headliners. We got Drake Bell and Andy Grammer. Like,
Who's Andy Grammer?
he like had like one big song. I can't even like remember what it was.
We should have the Blue Man Group come to Point Park.
Let's see. Andy Grammer's song.
did Drake Bell like? Did he actually make music, or was that just the theme song?
He had that "Honey I'm Good" song, and "You Gotta Keep Your Head Up." Andy
Like-
Grammer.
Andy
Yeah,
Grammer.
yeah.
Like that song?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was Andy Grammer.
And then
Didn't that come out in like 2001?
Yeah, I feel like that's
2010.
Like, what? I feel like that's been around
Keep Your
for
Head
a
Up.
minute.
No. And then "Honey I'm Good" is the
That
nah.
song is that. Yeah, that's out of my. We were too old for that.
Sheesh.
Like,
I'm gonna put on this video of tropical rain in 4K. Maybe it'll make.
Maybe George will.
Maybe George will show. I couldn't remember what I was trying to look up.
George will probably be.
Drake and George. That would have been a way better
Drake
show.
and George.
dude, imagine how cool it is there probably from that rain.
It's actually from the rain. I would love for it to be raining in this room.
It'll
right
probably be
now.
hot there.
I don't know. It
Probably be
doesn't look
hot,
that
sticky-
humid.
Sticky
Yeah.
rain.
I don't know.
Camera might have been far. Okay, we're again talking about the TV screen.
Yes,
that no one else
apologies.
Yeah,
can
no
see.
one can see. We're looking at a rainforest right now. We're just trying to cool down, man. The LaCroix is not.
LaCroix is fucking me up right now. It's not hitting.
I'm
right.
not gonna lie. It is kind of making me feel a little icky.
It's not hitting the same.
Well, cause
It's a bad batch.
Is this gonna hydrate me? Like, I mean, it's really just water that like someone sucked on a cran raspberry like hard candy and then spat in it, and like that's how the flavors put in.
I mean, yeah, it's carbonated water. Like, it's only carbonated water and, like, natural flavors.
I think
Like, there's no salt in it. Like, you're fine.
you're good, man.
I don't feel very hydrated. And again, what is hydration? Let's talk about that. Let's not.
Hydration. So I have to pee, man.
You gotta take a pee break? I mean, that's the glory of editing. You can just cut out your little your pee break.
Patrick Thomas for a pee break. Off to you, Patrick.
I mean,
Just go right ahead, man.
I don't think I'm gonna go pee though. Like, I probably won't.
Oh, but you're still gonna try.
I mean, I'm gonna pee though. No, I gotta pee, man.
Okay. Alright, Frank, now's our chance to talk shit on that bozo.
Patrick Thomas can, fuck himself.
Yeah, dude, Patrick Thomas. Ew, I can hear him. I can hear him belching from the tinkle room.
The tinkle room.
Patrick Thomas is a big fat lame guy.
Patrick Thomas hits innocent John Amick in a film.
Be on the lookout for the next vlog coming out on
yeah.
Wednesday. When they'll be listening to this. This comes out on Monday,
Yeah.
i.e. in a few
that's
hours.
a little spoiler.
Yeah, we're recording this at 7
little,
p.m.
a
on Sunday,
little
and it comes out
exclusive.
Monday. So, yeah, take a look at the vlog coming out on Wednesday. I think it's the funniest one we've made.
It definitely was. Brought to you by Squarespace. This is not actually endorsed by Squarespace.
Everything's endorsed by Squarespace.
For fucking real.
Here he is, the man of the hour, Miss America.
Miss America, Patrick Thomas.
Let's just dive right back into this episode.
Alrighty.
Frank, you're our guest.
Yes, I am. Yes,
Let's
I am.
let's talk more about you.
Oh boy.
Got any let's keep
Chocolate rain.
minor stroke. Frank,
Yes.
tell us about Art Skool. How do you like it here as compared to your other options when you were leaving high school?
Well.
You were big invested into Rhode Island.
I was big invested in Rhode Island. I was considering going to Johnson & Wales University, right in Providence. Those were my top two.
What, here in
Yeah. I was in between there, you know, got a pretty nice scholarship, the presidential, plus another $1,000 on top of that.
imagine having
That was-
actual academic merit.
Bro, I don't know how I got that. My GPA senior year was like a 2.4. Like, I did not go to school. But it was a very hard decision, you know.
Mhm.
I didn't know. I really liked Point Park, but I liked the idea of leaving the whole Pennsylvania hometown thing behind.
Oh yeah.
You know, like going somewhere different. And ultimately what like changed was their program was more of a startup. And
Mhm.
like I thought like, yeah, like I probably could have like been like one of the top people, but I was like, I didn't want to take that risk. But allegedly my offer like with my scholarship money is on lock until 2021.
Oh.
I've gotten a call from my advisor whenever it was about February. So, you know, if,
So whenever this podcast completely toilets your reputation here in Pittsburgh, you can always
oh,
jump on over to Rhode Island.
please, I'm sure this podcast is the least of my worries. If you knew my reputation with many people in the 724-412 area.
724.
We're making this to
Hey.
help rebuild your
Yeah, we're here to squash all the beef, dude.
Oh,
Frank is superior.
Yeah, we're not here to apologize. We're here to establish dominance on Frank's behalf.
Frank is powerful.
fuck apologies.
Yeah, we don't need anything.
Did you apologize to your grandma's dog?
Oh, my grandma's dog. Daisy, if you're in
Yeah.
heaven hearing this,
Yeah, go ahead and dive
I'm
on
sorry.
into this story.
Yeah, so
I'm
That's a good
enthralled for more detail
story.
because we heard it briefly one time.
I accidentally paralyzed my grandma's dog. What was it? It was like 6th or 7th grade because I made this offer with my grandma that like she would pay me like $10-20 like a week to let out her dog so that I could like afford my iPhone 5S because that's like when it like first came out and I wanted to have like the fingerprint sensor.
I had one of those like last year.
Yeah, like that was like the big thing then, and
Yeah, I remember that.
so my grandma lived right up the hill from me, so I could just cut through the yards. So I would cut up through the yards and I would go take her out. Well, Daisy was getting older and she was on my grandma's bed. And it was like a pretty like steep bed, I'd say, like for like a little tiny like miniature like toy poodle.
Mm-hmm.
So like you had to like pick her up because she couldn't jump like down it because like she was a pussy. And like I picked her up and she like squirmed and like slipped and she like fell on the ground. It was like twitching, like literally like seizure and bro.
Oh my.
And like so like I like freaked out. I like picked her up and like put her back on the bed and like I didn't know what to do. So like I started like crying because like keep in mind I'm like 12. I don't think I turned 13
like, oh my
yet.
God, what did I just do to
Like
this
I was like,
dog?
oh my god, like Daisy, like this is like my grandma's dog, like this is like my second dog, like well my third dog theoretically, but whatever, like that's beyond the point. So like I call my mom and she answers and she's like, hey, like what's up? I'm like, Daisy's I think she's dead. Even though she was like clearly moving. So my mom's like, shit. So
you
she's
like-
like,
Shovel. Like, I'm standing over.
yeah,
Sorry,
definitely.
Daisy.
Thinking about it. Like,
So like
Where
she's,
am I gonna bury it?
she's like, well, like, did you call grandma? And I'm like, yeah, she didn't answer. Like, grandma didn't answer. So like we had to call like 911 and they were like, it's a dog. I don't know what you
Yeah,
want us
what's
to do.
911 gonna do?
Like they were like, take her to the vet. Like, what do you want us to do? Rush her in an ambulance? So like, yeah, and I like she was like fine. She kind of have like a hunch, but like she was chilling.
Did she like need like one of those little doggy like wheelchair things? You know what I'm talking about, Patrick?
Like the like clip-ons.
Yeah.
And like they have the wheels. No.
they're cruising
She was
on it.
fine, and then
I need one.
the grandma got divorced from her second husband,
Oof.
and like he like took Daisy, and then like I guess she like died a couple years later. Never really saw her after.
R.I.P. Daisy. Daisy.
R.I.P. Daisy
Hope
Doodle.
there's no
Yeah.
hard feelings there.
Yeah.
That
all
dog is
happy.
going to
It's all
punish me
happy.
when I'm in hell. For
She'll
sure.
be waiting for you. Daisy's gonna be there.
Oh yeah, Daisy's at the gate.
Daisy's at the gate. I like instinctively thought you were referencing our school. Like that was like the joke died down like once we hit like 9th grade, but there used to be like
That
this,
was,
Oh,
classic.
North
the thing to say whenever you had beef.
There's
was,
a
like,
literal gate at the top of the hill when you walk home. You like pass that gate to like you can leave, and every kid was like, "Meet me at the gate, bro." Like if you wanted like to fight or something.
Yeah,
you
once
had to
you
take it up at the gate.
the
'cause
thing
it was,
is like
off school.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the second you
still
cross
get
the gate.
in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
Not even though. The only person that's why Hudson, our school cop, used to patrol up there because he was a Bellevue police officer, so at that point he could bust you for whatever shenanigan Northgate shit you were doing. But if you wanted to fight or you had beef with someone, you would tell them
I mean,
that.
like we had that too. I mean,
No one did that
Yeah,
after like
okay.
9th grade. Everyone stopped saying that because we were like, it's really corny. And then teachers like caught on and they'd be like, meet me at the gate. And it was like, ha ha.
I'll
Nice.
meet you at the gate, Mr.
Yeah.
What's his name? Mr.
There's a lot of misters in that school. Pip? You want to meet Pip? Because he'll beat your ass.
You know who I want to meet.
Who do you want to meet?
Nikki, no, Chica,
Kurtachenko?
Kurtachenko. Yeah.
But no, like, I was also in Ohio River Boulevard School, and like we had like something like your gate. Like we had a lower lot where like juniors parked mainly, and
Did everyone say meet me in the lower lot?
kind of. So like if you went out of the lower lot, like there was like an area, and it was like technically off school property, even though like you would get in trouble. And like there's like a couple videos on YouTube I know of like two guys like fighting. And then there would just be kids who like didn't care. I mean, I've witnessed a girl jump off a lunch table at the morning breakfast my junior year, ripping out another girl's hair.
Oh, I thought she just climbed up and then jumped off. Like, oh wow, look at you go.
No.
But no, it was like an attack.
And then like right outside my school, like by like the flagpole, I walked over a fight. I'll never forget that one. I literally just like stepped over
it.
Like I had places to be. I had to go to Target. I used to work there.
You probably had so many fights. Like me and Patrick used to like that was like our friend group's like favorite thing was just like
a rumble.
Yeah, we love a good rumble, good Northgate rumble. There were a
Get
few.
the
There were a
camera.
few real good ones. There were a
Get the
few that almost became good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were both thinking of the same one.
I didn't see my first fight till maybe sophomore, junior year though. Like
It
I
was-
was just never there.
It was kind of scary, like being a little seventh grader, and I'd see like my first fight in the big school. I was like, "What the hell? Where am I?"
Ooh.
Have you ever seen like a fight just like out in the streets?
Yeah.
Like not school related.
Yeah. No. I was in the CMI at Point Park University, the Center of Media Innovation, and
Point Park Rumble.
kind of.
Crackhead rumble.
Crackhead rumble. Yeah. So we were shooting for News Night. It's a little news program we have here, and I think I was anchoring that night. And there were like these two guys, and like they just started going at it like across the
Really?
street, and we're all just like we're all just looking at it like through this like it's all glass.
Yeah.
So like you're just staring at it like
All,
right
like,
on Wood
floor to-
Street.
floor to
like,
ceiling windows.
yeah, like you're just staring at it like at the Wood Street like bus station, and they're just like scrapping.
And you're like,
Ooh. Yeah, my producer was like, don't look at that, it's gonna cause problems. I'm like,
don't look. They'll come for break
Okay,
the glass.
yeah, like that would be better news.
Zombies.
Yeah, you're just
Like, dude,
the first street fight I ever saw was like I think it was like two dads in the parking lot of my elementary school.
The rumbling.
Yeah.
JR.
I don't think it was JR. But yeah, I forget. My dad was just there picking us up, and then these two dudes started scrapping, and I don't know what the issue was, but I was like really scared of that.
Some
Like, it
kids
did
were like,
scare
my
me.
dad could beat your dad. And the other kid
And
was
then-
like, my dad could beat your dad. And they were like,
no.
And then that actually went somewhere. They backed it up.
Oh
they went and told their dads what the other kids said, and they had to pick them up. Like, all right.
Dude, that reminds me of a time. It was senior year. It was definitely senior year. Some like girls like uncle or like dad, like two students at the school, like it was at like the local gas station, and they got like in a shooting. Like one like died, and then like it was publicly known throughout like the town of Ambridge that like there was like the shooting, somebody died, and like another dad like jumped in, and then like the school like said nothing, just like and like we all had to go to school the next day. I was like,
Well, what
do you realize like what
what
that's
can-
gonna cause?
What can you do? So what was
Yeah,
it like?
but, like-
Like if your dad killed my uncle?
Yeah,
type
or
shit?
something, or like your uncle killed my dad.
Oh my god.
Like literally, like just like imagine like being in school and being like, yo, so and so's uncle killed my dad.
Oh
Like,
my god.
like I mean, at least like they should be like,
Did they cause like was it like a big deal? Like was there friction between the two of them?
I don't think. I mean, they were definitely underclassmen, so like I didn't really pay attention to them.
That's kinda
But like
hilarious,
I don't
but
remember
also
there
terrible.
being like a fight or anything. Like I at least thought like guidance should have like taken them away, like not like ISS, but like ISS, like just like
Yeah.
let tension like die down because
Maybe they were cool with it. Maybe they didn't really care.
oh no, they definitely cared because like
Oh.
I mean it was like all over social media, like prayers, you know,
Yeah.
that whole thing, like the black Snapchat screen,
Yeah.
and all that,
Mm-hmm.
all that shit.
Okay, so on to our next topic of conversation here. When we first came to Point Park, me and Patrick just kind of were hanging out on our own, right? And then Malia, my girlfriend, introduced us to Frank and this whole, group of people, and I'm sure you'll meet a few of them as we go on here in later episodes. But when we found out that Frank, had grown up playing a ton of Pokemon, and so did we. So that's
Yeah.
like That's like where we branch off from.
Hey, Frank. Guess what?
They brought up Pokemon one night in here. Like, I was, like, directly almost in this spot. And it was just brought up, and I just started, like, going off about it. And you two were like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it started because we started playing Pokemon Go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in downtown Pittsburgh, like, it's so fun. Like, there's different shit, and, like, it's not dry.
Dude, it's so nice.
It's nice being downtown playing that game. We should, if you download the app, bro. If you're listening to the podcast, download Pokemon Go again, because that was such a good period of time that summer.
It was.
Yes.
Summer 16.
Summer 16.
When Pokemon Go came out, and we were just
Go.
walking around, catching Pokemon and shit.
Dude.
Super fire.
Pokemon Go came in clutch in a couple situations.
It was all clutch for anything.
It really did. If you
Like-
ever need an excuse to leave
Yeah.
the house at like midnight, we would just
Yep.
gotta go catch this rare thing, and
Like-
my mom and her, like, you know, no one would care.
I'd be like, yeah, like, I'm gonna, like, leave the neighborhood, like, for, like, an hour. Like, I'm gonna go catch other Pokemon.
Yeah, they're just
And,
like,
like,
okay, yeah, this new game sure is neat. It's getting our kids out.
yeah, like, my mom even played it, so she was like, oh, okay. Like, she knew how it, like, worked
Yeah.
exactly.
Sheesh, dude.
What was that, Summer 16?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Summer
yeah.
16 was the best summer.
I know it's just like been a meme that like it is, but like
It literally
really
was.
It was.
Like
It
that was my favorite
Dude,
summer.
that was my favorite
This
summer.
was a good summer too, though. I had a real good summer this past summer, but nothing.
do anything.
Nothing.
I just
beats
drove around all
16.
summer.
I mean, I had like a new job, and then like Ohio Pile happened, and like I don't know. I really just had money to like spend, and I bought a boosted board. And like those three things together made for a pretty damn good summer. But nothing comes close to summer 16.
No.
Even though we were all like, what were we?
Youngins.
I was
Were we
15.
we were going into 10th grade.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were on our way to turn 16 that school
Yeah.
year. Yeah, dude, summer 16, nothing
Nothing
beats
tops
that. It was just such like I was at that age at least where like my parents kind of like stopped like monitoring so tightly. Like it was just kind of like, all right, like you're a freshman in high school, like go walk the town at night, go stay at your friend's house, like go do whatever. And then we'd get into all sorts of shenanigans. It was just fun, man. Really carefree. It felt like there were no rules. There certainly were, because it sometimes come back to bite us, but
Simpler times.
So, bringing it back to Pokemon.
yeah, let's do that. Let's
What's
regroup.
our number one favorite Pokemon?
like single one?
Single one.
Frank.
That's easy for me.
That's easy for me.
That's such a hard question for me.
Riley, why don't you start?
Gengar. It's always been Gengar. Ever since I forget what actually started it. I think it was the first time I watched Pokemon Origins. I thought Trainer Red's Gengar was really badass. So then just from there on out I was like, Gengar's nice. And then I realized that he was like OP when Mega Evolution came out and he got banned from tournaments. And I was just like, I'm just gonna cheese all my friends with Mega Gengar and just blast them with Shadow Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Frank?
Mine definitely. I told Pat. Mine's Togekiss. I
Which
love
one is that?
Togekiss.
Is that like the one
It's
that's
the
all
final
one
evolution
piece?
of Togepi.
Is that the one that's like kind of looks like a
It
has the wings.
stingray,
The
or does
fly
it have like a head?
It looks like the Stingray.
you know which
It
two
looks
I'm-
like the Stingray.
The stingray looking one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it loses the shell, like because Pokemon like Platinum, like Pokemon Platinum really changed the game for me, and like I always had it on my team, and like just the fact that Togepi was kind of ass. Like Metronome was like
Togepi's a little like baby Pokemon.
yeah, but like Metronome like sometimes came in handy if it, like you got the right move, but like once you got to Togekiss, like it was nice because like it could learn like Shadow Ball, and that was
Right.
like such like a curveball because like that's a ghost type move, and like whenever I knew Togekiss, it was just normal and flying. Because
Yeah.
like I'm currently leaning in the new age Pokemon that we've talked
Yeah,
about.
you were
I'm-
strictly old school.
I'm strictly old school Pokemon. I don't like fairy type.
Once
I
you
don't
leave,
like-
literally once you leave the DS era and enter the 3DS era is when you tuned out.
Yeah, like Pokemon White 2 was like my last. Like I was like, you know what? Like I'm done. Like this is like bullshit. Like no, like
Mega Evolution.
like yeah, like they're
3D
like,
graphics.
they're ruining this for me. Like
I loved X and Y.
still have not
X and
played.
Y was like a game changer for me. It was like, oh my lord.
I don't even know their starters. Is that the one with Froakie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Froakie. That's the only one I can.
That's the only one I know.
I couldn't even.
Chespin. I think I liked
Chespin
Chespin.
and Fennekin.
Frou-frou.
Wait, no,
Fennekin.
I think I liked Fennekin was the fire, right?
Yeah, that was
I
a
liked
little fox
Fennekin.
thing. It
Yeah.
turns into like a human.
No, that one was kind of hard.
I hated that
Yeah,
one.
it's alright.
I don't know.
Chespin was mine. I hated
like his
Greninja.
final form.
His final form was kind of lame. I don't know why Greninja's in Smash either. I think that's lame too.
Yeah.
But he's been here for so long, so like whatever. Who cares?
So Pat, here's your fave. Who do you think?
Yeah, let's hear this.
Dude, I really cannot just think of like a favorite Pokemon. Like I don't know.
Oddish?
Any
You're a
honorable
big Oddish
mentions?
guy.
I use Oddish a lot. He's definitely one I've used a lot, but I didn't use him in Sword and Shield. I've been playing that a lot.
Vileplume goes hard.
Probably someone in Gen 1. Like, I don't know. Maybe Vileplume.
Vileplume?
Dude, Vileplume was
Maybe,
good.
I don't know, dude. I just can't.
I don't think
pick
you've ever
favorite.
been able to answer that question.
There's not really one that like stands out. That's like my favorite.
Yeah.
I definitely have to give like an honorable mention though to probably.
I like a lot of them.
It's either Ampharos or Lucario.
Really?
Yeah, like I want Togekiss, Lucario, or Ampharos on my team in any game, like if it's possible. Like, no word about it.
Yeah. Shit. If we're giving like honorable mentions, and like, I love Garchomp. I think Garchomp's
Garchomp
badass.
should-
Oh my god, yeah.
I'll always
Yeah.
and I love Ludicolo.
Yeah,
And I
mean,
kind of look like a Lombre.
You do look like Lombre.
I've used both those guys.
Really?
A lot, yeah. Ludicolo and Garchomp.
Honestly, a lot of people are roasting
Espeon I've used.
Sword and Shield. I love Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield
I
is
played through it. I
amazing.
played through the post game. I love it.
I really love it. It's so good. And this expansion pass,
Oh my god, the
Yeah, I've
expansion
been
pass.
reading on it.
they're adding so much.
They're bringing back
shit.
a lot more Pokemon too, and I know Garchomp's one of them, and I'm really excited for that. I love
Mhm.
Garchomp.
That is the one nice thing about the new games, is like they're able to now like add like expansion.
Just like
packs and shit.
DLC
You know what I
and all
mean?
that,
Like
yeah.
like
Mhm.
because it was kind of like
And they're
It's
doing
kind of
that
stupid when they released the Part 2 game and it was just like the
like
same game.
a whole. Yeah, you're paying for a whole game price, but you're only getting like.
They added like a few things to the,
Yeah.
the old game where it's like just add it in an update.
I was pretty excited for Sun and Moon whenever that came out, but when Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, like I was just like,
I mean,
You didn't buy it.
I did not buy
I think
that.
they were
I didn't wanna
definitely
buy that.
they were definitely trying to do like what they did with Black and White.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Black
And-
and White too. Like it worked because
It worked.
It was a new game.
Yeah.
It was different.
But like,
Platinum was the same game, but
but so
there
so
was
much
a
of the
little
kinks
bit
fixed.
more that was different.
So much of the kinks fixed.
So it was good. Yeah.
Like I played Diamond.
I never
and
played
they
it was
fixed,
shit.
They fixed up that game. Yeah.
'Cause that
Diamond
game,
is
like-
so slow.
Yeah, it was so slow, and then like Platinum came out, and it was like smooth. It was just,
Really?
it was so nice.
I never even touched like that gen, like Gen 4. But yeah, we're coming up on. Listen, guys, we had a bunch of people last time telling us about how our time was off. Like by the end of our 51-minute
Yeah,
recording, we were
know
like,
we goofed.
we were like, okay, we're 20
we
minutes
know
in.
What happened? So
we are. You can roast us for this, but like the software we're using is counting beats and not seconds, and we just assumed that it was just seconds. So like right now we thought we would be at like 1700 seconds, but yeah, it was just beats over, what was it, like beats
I don't know.
Beats on
It's
per
some-
track,
It's
something.
it's something weird. It's messed up. It's messed up. It's broken. It's broken. Riley broke it.
I did not break it, man. Frank is gay.
I am gay, actually.
Let's put that out there.
Yes, I actually am gay.
You know, Frank, we're already 58 minutes into this podcast, and a good bit of it may be cut out, but I had thought about asking about your whole come-up story through high school and shit. But I was
Oh.
just like, I don't want to be like, Frank's gay, let's talk about that.
I mean, like, what do you mean, like, my come up through high school?
Well, I don't know. We were just going to talk about, like, what was it like coming out? Because we've never come out.
Well,
Ooh.
well, I mean, like, dude,
Until now, guys.
I was one of the, like, the early people of, like, the generation that, like, came out, because I believe there was a kid who came out at the same time as me, but he was in high school. And, like, he graduated whenever, like, I was going into freshman year. So, So like we were never in the same school, but like nobody like knew like a gay person like at my school. Like there was never like, oh, like so and so's like gay. Like that was never like the thing. So like I was like the first one that was like out, and like I didn't choose that shit. Like I was like outed, and like it's like whatever. Like now like I've gone over it. You know what I mean? But like like it was so weird. Like middle school, it was like 7th grade. It was like an awful thing. Like so much shit for it. And then like other people were like, okay, like it's fine. And like I used to think that shit was like illegal back then. And then
it felt like it. What
like,
year would that have been? That was like the 2010s, like
that was
like early 2010s, like turn of the decade.
Yeah, and then like I remember it like kind of settled, and then like gay marriage was legalized. And
I
like,
remember when that happened.
I was like happy, but like I couldn't express it at my school, like it's still middle school. And like then I remember like every girl with a Bible quote in their Instagram bio was like, protect my marriage, say no to gay marriage. And I was like, fuck off. Like literally like, oh, I could go off on some people. Like I know some names. Like
see, it's just like the thing with me is just like I just never got like so like I had like lesbian aunts, and that was like my like, you know, reason to fight, so to speak. But like for the most part, like just me as a kid, like when that was all a big question, and when Obama was coming to office and what we were gonna do for gay marriage and gay rights, I was just like so fucking what? Like I didn't get like the reason not to, and it's just whatever. Man. Yeah, we're not gonna dive into that.
And then like high school was like fine. I mean like there were like certain like coincidences of like homophobia like popping through, and I was like, okay, like whatever, like leave me alone. Like literally leave me alone. Like I just like mind my own business. Like and I was like, I don't want to draw attention to me. Like I really don't. Like 4 years I want out. I want to go to college. Like I just want to grow up. Like I was always like, I want to do my career. I want to be successful. I want money. That's been the plan since day one. So then I just like kind of like chilled like by myself, and like I would hang out with like a couple people, and like I didn't really care. Like
coming to college is just so much better.
Oh my god, so much better.
You just like no one, like nobody here cares about you, and that's what I like.
Nobody cares. Like high school was your entire life.
People care about what other people do in high school.
Yeah,
and once you get to college, and I'm not saying like I was like ever like bullied or anything, or like people were on my dick or about anything. Like you probably had it worse than I did. I just kind of cruised through high school with pretty safe to say no issues. Like but like in college, man, I like it. I like the attention. Not like if you want attention, you gotta go get it.
Oh yeah,
here
100%.
But like it doesn't just happen to fall on you like like it can in high school. So if you're listening to this and you're in high school,
you're stupid.
You stupid. It's gonna get way better whenever you leave high school.
Dude, high school sucks.
I'm not saying you have to go to college, because like that's not for everybody.
No.
That back crack was loud and proud on
that sounded good.
Right on the microphone. You could actually see the waveform. Oh my lord.
That was my back, and now it feels broken.
Well, thank you all for. Oh god. I have to edit this. It's gonna hurt my ears.
Eat that. Ready.
We have to do our homework.
I have to do mine too.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry
I'm
too.
also hungry. This is how we ended the last one. All right, well, all right. The conversation was all over the place, but that's kind of like our brand here. We just sit down, we talk, we have a good time, we fucking sit around and do whatever. So
yeah, so it's fun.
It's
fun.
So anyhow, Frank Smith, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for talking about video games and Pokemon and
being
paralyzing
gay.
your dog and
Daisy.
And capping it off with being gay. Let's hear it for those gays.
Yeah, fucking gay.
I'm gay.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good day, everyone. Turn it off, Patrick. Turn it off. Shut it off, Patrick.
I can't.